Chris Avina with American Outdoor News. I'm here with Joe Bartozzi from National Shooting Sports Foundation. Joe, thanks so much for taking the time to speak to us today.
I appreciate the time, Chris. Thanks for letting me be on your show.
Now, uh, National Shooting Sports is involved with Project ChildSafe. It's been going on for a long time.
Yeah.
How did it start?
Project ChildSafe started back in 1999 when it was called Project HomeSafe. The concept was to provide a forum, an educational opportunity to teach gun owners about secure storage options. Why? To prevent theft, to prevent misuse, to prevent suicide, to prevent accidents. And we kicked it off with a big campaign. We got federal funding during George W. Bush administration, and that really gave us the head start to get this thing off the ground. Eventually, the name was changed to Project ChildSafe, but we've been going strong now for more than 25 years.
How is it? Well, it's been going on for 25 years. How has it evolved in that time? I know a lot of things have changed.
Right. What we've done over the years is we've worked very closely with law enforcement all over the country and in all 5 U.S. territories. So we are now active in all 50 states and 5 U.S. territories. We partner with more than 15,000 local law enforcement departments around the country to help distribute not only the locks themselves, the gun locks, but also help with the messaging. In addition to that, our website has evolved a tremendous amount. So we have so many now video assets, training materials, checklists, things that parents can use, that teachers can use, mental health professionals can use to talk about secure storage. And the one thing I want to point out is, we were created for gun owners by gun owners. We're not some type of anti-gun group that talks about this stuff. We actually practice what we preach. We talk about giving people options and education about secure storage when firearms are not being used. So that's really the main thing is, we are gun owners, hunters, shooters, and we created this program for our community.
So you're involved in the local level all across the country, not just with law enforcement, but with hunters and shooting enthusiasts and just
Correct.
gun owners in general.
We've got about 13,000 local partners, gun shops, faith-based groups, safety instructors all over the country, in addition to our law enforcement partners. Yeah,
And you basically giving something similar to this app.
correct. It is part of the safety kit includes not only materials that people can learn from and read and keep, and also, the URLs for our websites, but also a lock that can be immediately used to start the secure storage journey. Now, these days, almost every gun you buy, if not everyone, comes with a gun lock, but there are still millions of guns out there that predate that requirement. And so what we're telling people is, look, you may want to have a safe at some point in time, but today, to get you started, we can teach you about secure storage options. And here's one way to get you started right out of the gate. Here's a lock or two or five, to get you going so you can secure the guns you currently have until you decide on what is the best approach for you and your family.
Well, what kind of impact has it had on preventing accidents and promoting firearm safety?
What we know now in the last 25 years, since Project ChildSafe has been around and we've been tracking this data, two things we know. Number one, accidents involving firearms have declined by 40% in that time period. And number two, fatal accidents involving firearms are at the lowest point in more than 100 years. So we're getting our data from the National Safety Council, and we look at this research and we look at this data and we see, now, like, I'm not going to sit here and say we take credit for all of this, of course, but part of that messaging is getting out to people. We reach millions of people every single year between our websites, between our advertising, between our fundraising campaigns, which generate a lot of interest, between Gun Storage Check Week, which goes on twice a year in June and September. those billboards, those radio spots, print advertising reaches millions and millions of people every single year. So, the process of educating is never ending, and we continue that, and we're very happy and proud to do so.
So it's not just promoting firearm safe storage, you're promoting safe usage.
That's actually correct. Yeah, for sure. We have the Hunt Safe program, where we talk about, getting out to the field and practicing safety in the field. It all eventually comes back to how you securely store your firearms when they're not being used. So we say the hunt isn't over, for example, until your gun is locked away, cleaned up and locked away. So that's just one of our messaging things, but really is about safe use, about safe storage, about mental health,
Yeah.
and keeping people that maybe shouldn't have a firearm away from that firearm by providing time and distance. We call that space between time and trigger, by having a lock or a safe or a lockbox or something in between that person and that firearm.
Now, what resources do you provide to educate people and uh, just really keep them in the know of, because there's ever-changing gun laws and safety measures. There's all kinds of things that are always evolving.
Yeah, Project ChildSafe has a very comprehensive website. It's projectchildsafe.org. If you go there, you'll see that we've got toolkits, again, for parents, for teachers, um, safety in schools, things of that, all of these resource videos, and other assets that people can freely use, they can freely share, and we want them to learn from this information. Again, we're not preaching how to store your firearms. Every family, every individual circumstance is different, but we provide options. Here are things for you to consider. Maybe a biometric lock box is best for you. Maybe a simple cable lock would be fine. Maybe a full-size safe, depending on what your family looks like, what your needs are, what your means are currently. So we provide education, and then we also provide that means to lock the gun with the free cable lock with every one of our safety kits that goes out.
And there's all types of safe storage. You can buy something as simple as a gun cabinet. There's gun safes, there's handgun safes, there's all kinds of ways you can safely keep your firearm out of the hands of your kids.
Exactly. And one of the things that we tell people is, again, we don't tell you how to do it, but we want you to think about it. We want you to think about it, whether there is um, any children living in your home or any at-risk adults or individuals, maybe people suffering going through a crisis. And I'll tell you just a brief story about this. Many years ago when I was shooting in a pistol league on a team, and one of my colleagues on the team, one of my teammates, had his pistol taken by his neighbor, took that firearm home and used that firearm to die by suicide. Now, this is, something that leaves a lasting impression on someone, right? It certainly did on me. And so what I try to tell people is, look, do what is best for you, but always consider the consequences. Always consider you do not want to have that regret that my friend felt. And this is many years ago, before Project ChildSafe was really in vogue, or maybe even in existence. It was that many years ago. But times have changed. We evolved to where we can have this conversation. And I understand, believe me, I as a gun owner, as someone who uses a firearm to hunt and to shoot and to protect my family, I understand the natural tension between access and secure storage. So I get it. So that's why we don't preach, we don't tell you what to do, but we tell you, just think about it. Consider the options that are available today that weren't available 20 or 30 or 40 years ago, with biometrics and quick access things that you can change the combination on for various family members. There are things that we have today that weren't available, and we want you to use them, and to consider them as part of your overall strategy for firearm ownership.
Even the NSSF website is a wealth of information. There's so much information there that people could really sink their teeth into, not just about safety, just about handling and the local laws. And there's so many things that people can learn just by visiting the website.
Yeah, well, nssf.org is the website. We also have letsgoshooting.org, letsgohunting.org, where to shoot. We have a new app out. If you're looking for a range in your area, go to wheretoshoot.org and download the app. Put it right on your phone, and you can find local ranges all around the country. Now, we've got, as a trade association for the firearm industry, I'm very proud to say we have tremendous resources for all people, all hunters, shooters, as well as our members, which are manufacturers, distributors, retailers of firearms and ammunition. So we try to be a real full service shop for helping anyone that wants to get involved in the shooting sports, or anyone who's already in the business of the shooting sports. So again, education is a big part of what we do.
So, how can local communities be more active in promoting it and getting involved?
Probably a couple of things I would say. It's a great question. First of all, I would contact local law enforcement to see if they're a Project ChildSafe partner. And that is, if they are, then they will probably have the locks and the safety kits readily available at their precinct. If they're not, they can certainly, the agency, the police agency, can reach out to us and become a member, and we would ship them locks and safety kits that they can then distribute to their local population. Secondly, the other way would be to contact projectchildsafe.org, go through that website, reach out to us, and we can provide information, resources to those various groups or people that need it at that point in time.
Now, I know you're basically a non-for-profit, and the money you raise goes directly towards the project itself. You have currently an auction going on. How do people find out about the auction, and how does it work?
Well, the auction is, as you say, we have a beautiful 20 gauge Winchester Super X4 shotgun that was generously donated by Winchester. And we do use this auction to raise funds so that we can buy locks and print materials that we freely give away. Um, and so what we want to do is raise not only money so we can buy more locks, but also raise awareness so that people know, hey, this is kind of interesting. What is this Project Child Safe thing? Yeah, I'd like to win the shotgun, but what is this Project Child Safe thing all about? And we have a database of people that receive emails and marketing materials from Project Child Safe. Again, going to the website, they can log in, sign in for updates and newsletters and things like that we put out. But again, our whole mission is really to raise awareness about secure storage of firearms when they're not being used. And this is one method that we use. Of course, we have the SHOT Show in January every year. We help raise money through getting donations by people when they register to go to the show. We also have a booth at the SHOT Show so that exhibiting companies and attendees can come by the booth, learn more about Project ChildSafe, sign up for our information right then and there at our booth at the SHOT Show. We also work at various gun shows around the country. We've got a new program whereby gun shows can get free of charge literature from Project ChildSafe that they could put out on the display tables. So people that come to the shows can pick up literature and say, oh, this is Project ChildSafe. Here's how I get involved. Here's how I learn more. Here's how I go to the website. Again, so we're trying to do everything we can to reach into these communities that we are also a part of, frankly. But again, to spread the word about how secure storage can save lives and prevent tragedies.
Well, I mean, it's a fantastic cause. It's something that every gun owner should be aware of and get involved in. They should be promoting it within their family and their friends and the people that they go to the range with, or it's something that like if you have a kid, take him to the range, teach him how to handle a firearm safely, and know that it's not a toy. If it's sitting on the counter, leave it alone. Stay away from it.
Exactly. Yeah.
It's about education as well.
Education, to me, it's the bottom line. Is really about educating, friends, family, colleagues, like you say, people that you go to the range with. Maybe you are like me. Our children are grown, but we have now grandchildren that come to the house.
Yep.
So your secure storage practice may evolve over time. They may change based upon family situations. So our message is just keep thinking about that. Keep current in terms of how you assess your storage needs and evolve as your family needs evolve. So again, we're trying to be helpful. We're trying to be a helpful resource from inside the industry. So it's something that we are all passionate about as hunters and shooters ourselves.
Well, I grew up in a different era where, my father he was in law enforcement, and the rule was stay away from it or you're going to catch a beating.
Right. It's a good message.
Very different today.
Yeah,
It's,
for sure. For sure.
but all right, so go to projectchildsafe.org to get involved, find out information, and any questions that people have, they can find out on the site.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you so much, Chris, for giving us an opportunity to share the message. This is how people find out about us through people like yourself. And we truly appreciate the opportunity to get our message out.
Well, I'm a member of National Shooting Sports Foundation, been for a number of years. If you're not involved and you're not a member, go to the website, join. It's only $25 to be a member of National Shooting Sports Foundation, and you have a wealth of information at your fingertips. And these are the people that are fighting for our rights. So definitely get involved.